All right, officer. Let's get you out of that box. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I'm back with you today for another unboxing video. This time around, I am unboxing my Terminator 2 T-1000 figure. I received this from a friend a couple of months ago in a rather large box of many different items, and I'm finally getting to one of them suckers. Let's crack this sumbitch open. Check him out. Looks like you may finally have somebody that's interested in you. What's up, YouTube? As always, I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe. All right, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the T-1000. I have not watched Terminator 2 in 20 years at least, I would say. I think that's probably a pretty safe assessment. This was a very, very groundbreaking James Cameron movie when it came out. And I know recently it was released, I don't know how recently, within the last 6 months or so, this was released in 4K, give or take. Not sure exactly when it was released, but I heard that it was an absolutely terrible transfer, so I have not even bothered to buy it. So I'll stick with the one I have. I only have the standard DVD of this. I don't even think I have it on Blu-ray, to be honest with you. I have an old, what they considered to be collectible at the time, now I consider to just be a pain in the ass, an old DVD with a steel or metal slip cover. It's definitely a metal, like tin slip cover on it, but it's large and heavy, and the movie slides out of it if you pick it up. It's a pain in the ass. All right, so here he is, the T-1000, with a big glare of me in the picture. That doesn't help. That doesn't even make logical sense. So let's get this guy out of this box and check him out. Be right back. All right, I'm back. So first off, we'll take a look at these heads. Here is the standard Robert Patrick head. He was fantastic in this movie. Now, back to what I was saying earlier, man. This was like, I remember when this came out, it was a groundbreaking movie for James Cameron. Absolutely fantastic, way ahead of its time as far as special effects goes. I remember it being a big thing with the Guns N' Roses song, and there was a lot when Terminator 2 came out. Crazy, wildly popular, and it's a shame to hear that the 4K of this movie is not worth buying. It's actually kind of heartbreaking, because I think that does that legendary film a disservice. But who knows? I haven't seen it myself, so I can't pass judgment. I'm a collector, so chances are I'm gonna wind up with the goddamn thing. All right, so there's Robert Patrick's head split wide open. Very, very cool. All of these effects with like the liquefied Terminator in these movies was just, or the T-1000 in this movie were pretty damn cool. He was able to like pass through the jail cell and get blown apart and regenerate. It was just really, really awesome stuff. So I'll get to his regular normal hands first. There's a regular old normal right hand. Is that a right hand? That is a right hand. Things appear different in the camera for me, backwards, if you will. There's the right hand, hold with a trigger finger. Here is the left hand with not so much a trigger finger. I don't know. It's got that little ball and socket thing going on, but for some reason when that was in my hand, it did not feel as such. All right, moving on to the liquefied T-1000 pointy fingers. He's got one of these for both hands, right? Yes, he does. There's his left hand with his long, you can scratch a lot of itches with these things. That's pretty cool. I like that quite a bit, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to pose him yet. I really didn't pay too much attention to that box when I was opening him up. But yeah, this was just, it was a great movie. You know, and I've liked a lot of the Terminator movies. I've never liked any of the Terminator movies anywhere even close to the original film. I've liked a lot of them. I've liked a lot of them quite a bit, to be honest with you. But that first movie, I remember being very young when that came out. I'm not sure what year that came out. 80-something. I was young. And I loved Terminator. I would actually like to get a really nice release of Terminator. It's got to be a 4K of Terminator out there, right? I mean, if there's a 4K of Terminator, explain that one to me. I've seen on several occasions where like a nice boutique release comes out of a movie, one of a film's sequels, but not of the original film. I understand that's a licensing thing and it's an ownership thing, and I get all that, but that's frustrating, right? It's not just me. That's kind of, you know what I'm saying. There's a little handgun. Do not know exactly what type of handgun that is. It is not an Uzi 9mm. I can just tell you that for sure. So there's that gun, and then there's this gun. This might be an Uzi 9mm. Very cool. That's not an Uzi. I don't think that's an Uzi. I'm not a gun guy, if you haven't picked that up yet. Very cool, very basic. All right, so let's get on to the, oh, forgot about that. Then there's this big ass thing where his whole hand transformed into, I believe he opened something up, like opened a locked door with this in the movie. It's been a while. I think he opened a locked door or something with this, or like a car, like a armored car door or something. Who the hell knows? Here's an arm. Christ. All right, so if you've seen Terminator 2, you probably know what I'm talking about. So that's pretty cool too. I definitely will not pose him with that. All right. That's an arm from like the elbow down. And here is the T-1000 in human form. He's definitely going to keep this head on when I pose him and set him up in here. This is actually really, really cool. I was not even looking for this guy, and I received him, like I said, in a box, a gift from my buddy Chris, who sent me a ton of figures, and I put everything in a wheel, which you may have seen at the beginning of this video or may have noticed if I remember to actually put it in there. Hopefully I did. I spin that wheel to determine which one of these figures I'm going to open, because I just, quite frankly, don't feel like making decisions. I feel like I'm always going to pick favorites and wait till the end and then get to the end of a big list of figures and then not want to open the figures at the end, and yada, yada, yada. That's how an OCD neurotic mind works. So this is the first figure that popped up on that wheel that came in that gigantic box of gifts. And I'm glad I opened him up. He's really, really cool. I haven't even had a chance to look at him myself yet. That's how these things work. All right, so he's got a holster there that I can stick that gun in that I'm not going to pose in his hand, I guess, because I'll put it in his pocket. Let's see. He's got his badge on. He's got his patches on. Very cool, man. Walkie-talkie in his back pocket. He ain't talking to nobody. All right, so articulation, knees, ankles, hips, waist. Oh, the walkie-talkie does move, though. That's cool. Does his elbow? Yeah, of course his elbows move. Elbows, shoulders. Elbows actually rotate, too. Do his wrists move? I am not wanting to force. Well, of course his wrists got to move because you can pull his whole damn hand off. All right, so wrists move, elbows, shoulders, neck. All right, let's get this guy set up, take a closer look at him. So there he is. There's a T-1000 from 1991's Terminator 2. So, unboxing these things, you never know what's going to happen when you unbox these NECA figures. Most of the time, everything is fine. Every once in a while, something breaks. And this guy, his right hand, when I was removing the hand itself, let me see if I have the hand over here. All right, so when I was pulling his hand off, it's a ball and socket. All right, so when you pull that, most of you probably already know that. When I was pulling it off, what's not there anymore? The ball. So the ball broke off inside of his wrist. So I had to take a drill and drill out the hole in his wrist to stick that hand in there. And unfortunately now the hole's too big because apparently I don't know how to fix NECA figures. The hole's too big, so now he's got to hold his hand up in the air. Unless I do exactly what I said I was not going to do earlier in this video. Unless I pull his forearm off and pose him with that. That makes me nervous. So I'm going to read this box and see if this is intended to be his right arm or his left arm. Because I don't want to not only break his hand off, I don't want to break his forearm off in addition to that. And then have a one-armed handicapped T-1000. So, there he is. Outside of the broken hand, I think he's actually pretty damn cool. That Arnold Schwarzenegger figure that I opened up from the Terminator was absolutely amazing. He's one of my favorite. I think he's one of the best likenesses of any figure I've ever seen in my life. It freaking looks exactly like him. I unboxed him a long time ago on this channel, a couple years ago. I would assume that he was probably one of the first 10 unboxing videos I ever did. I might be wrong. I don't think I am, but I might be. And I loved him. And I still think that he's one of the greatest likenesses of any figure I've ever seen in my life. As far as figures we'll go with human faces, human likenesses. That figure looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's amazing. And the detail on this guy is just as good. Granted, he's got glasses on, and that's not as hard to replicate as a face is. But with that, this face is pretty damn solid. It's just, NECA does an absolutely outstanding job with these figures, and they never disappoint me. They always cease to amaze me. I know the shit that happened with his hand. That ain't NECA's fault. That's my fault, more than likely, for pulling the wrong way, twisting too hard, or something along those lines. And anyway, shit happens. So you roll with the punches, you drill out a hand. Now you got a NECA figure with a loose wrist. Well, it could be worse. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know if you collect these things, and if you have, did you get all the Terminator figures? I know there's another Terminator figure out there where he's got a black leather jacket on. I don't have that guy either. I don't even know how many other Terminator figures there are actually out there. So leave me some comments down below and let me know that too. Getting out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. If you guys like watching husband and wives eat food and talk about everyday life, jump over to Project Ellsworth Eats. And if you like heavy metal and you like watching goofballs like me react to them, heavy metals. If you like heavy metal music and you like watching goofballs like me react to heavy metal videos, pop over to Project Ellsworth Reacts. Spend some time with me there too. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. Thank you for watching. Later, folks.